Welcome back, my fellow mobile gamers of YouTube. My name is NimbleThor, and today we're gonna talk about the best games that I played last week, which includes some of the most unique RPGs to have released this year. Now, thanks to my lovely supporters over on Patreon, I also released a video last week about the 10 best action RPGs as of 2021 on mobile, so you can go find that video after this one is over if you just can't get enough of ARPGs. But the first game in this week's episode, this quest of finding the very best that mobile gaming has to offer, is arguably also the most unique game of this week, and the name of the game is Requia Online. And this is an incredibly unique single and multiplayer trading card RPG with real-time card-based battles and a large open world full of creatures and resources to explore. So the core gameplay in this game has us fight monsters and complete quests across a large 2D semi-MMO world. Once we're then actually fighting a monster, this is where the game starts to differentiate itself, because cards are continuously pulled from our deck and placed in front of us with room for a total of 7 cards. And to attack, we then simply swipe cards towards our opponent, and since combat is real-time, our enemy constantly attacks us back as well, forcing us to strategize on the fly and act quickly to gain the upper hand. This combat system in and of itself is actually already great, and I really enjoyed it, but the deep level of strategy throughout Requia is what truly blew me away though. Because not only is it vital to strategize which cards to include in our deck, but also when, and I really mean when, the exact time to use these cards. For example, a card that stuns an enemy should of course be used just before the opponent hits us with a strong attack, much like we see it in traditional action RPG games. Most cards also require energy to be used, which we gain by first playing energy cards, adding yet another layer of strategy. And to top it all off, there are over 600 cards to either use during combat or equip to increase our core stats. Now, in terms of what we can do in the game, it features real-time PvP, co-op PvE battles, crafting, and MMO-style open-world bosses that occasionally appear on the world map. And interestingly, we can even buy and sell cards to and from other players on an auction house or directly trade them with people we meet in real life. But what about the monetization then? Well, in this game, that happens through in-app purchases for a premium currency that we also earn via events and PvP matches, but since equipment cards can only be acquired through gameplay and ability cards are easily earned for free, the advantage of paying players is relatively small, to be honest. The game requires online access, takes up 675 megabytes of space, and for those ready to dedicate the time it takes to truly understand all of the game's many intricate systems, Requia offers a one-of-a-kind experience perfect for fans of strategy, RPG, and card games. Next up is a game I've been really excited to share with you guys because it's something you really don't see every day on mobile, a game that mixes PvP and PvE in the same game mode. The name of the game is Knight's Edge, and it's a fun, fast-paced 3 vs 3 PvPvE brawler where we rush to defeat 3 rooms of monsters and bosses before our opposing team does. But the brilliantly chaotic twist that truly sets this game apart from all the others out there is that we can use teleporters to get to the opponent's dungeon and attack them to ruin their run and just really, mess with them. Now, the Arch Hero-inspired combat system means that normal attacks are used automatically when we stand still, while abilities are then used manually. The bosses and monsters we meet in these dungeons also all have unique behaviors and attack patterns, and mixed with our opponents randomly spawning to mess with us, this creates an awesome gameplay experience. Every monster we kill also provides a bit of XP, and when we level up, we get to pick between 2 random upgrades from a pool of potential upgrades that depend on the weapons we've got equipped. And there's a good amount of these different types of weapons with distinct abilities to match any playstyle. In between matches, we can then also upgrade these weapons using gold gathered through gameplay and weapon duplicates gained via a progression road and a free and paid battle pass. The control system in this game is great for the most part at least, but I did often find myself leap dodging when I didn't really intend to. Team members going AFK during a match was also mildly frustrating as they don't currently get replaced by an AI control player. But my biggest frustration though was the matchmaking that often matched me against higher level players, although I do think that this will fix itself if the game attracts more players. The monetization system of Knight's Edge is okay overall. I mean, it's not perfect, but certainly not horrible either. It basically allows us to spend money on vanity cosmetic items or loot boxes to unlock and level up weapons faster, and this last part does of course give paying players a slight pay to progress faster advantage. It requires online access, takes up 442 megabytes of space, and it's honestly just a super fun game with a perfect mix of PvP and PvE, so it's worth checking out for any fan of brawlers or Arch Hero-like experiences. Okay, so this next one is one of the most unique text-based like MMORPGs on mobile, and also one of my favorite games within this genre. genre. Its name is Lost Vault, and it's a great post-apocalyptic fantasy MMORPG that mixes active RPG and social elements with semi-idle resource optimization for a unique experience built for brief play sessions. So the core gameplay has us defeat monsters throughout the wasteland to gain XP, cash, and just an absolutely insane amount of loot with unique attributes. Once we initiate a battle, the fight unfolds automatically, which means the game is all about optimizing our equipped loot and core attributes. Now, in between fighting monsters, we can chat with other players, join a guild, fight mini-bosses, upgrade our equipment through crafting, participate in guild activities, defeat other players' characters in non-real-time PvP, and even upgrade our headquarters and buildings to receive additional idle resources. So there's really just a lot to dive into in this game, but where it truly shines though is in its customization that allows us full control over how we develop our character's strength, agility, intelligence, endurance, and luck attributes. This freedom basically means that we can create any build imaginable by spending in-game cash to upgrade our preferred attributes, and if you actually look at other players, you'll notice that almost every player in this game has a unique build, which is really freaking awesome. Now, an important detail here is that fighting monsters consumes water, which is a resource that replenishes twice per day, and it means that the game is made to be played for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And I know that some might not enjoy the limited play session length, but on the bright side, it means that the game is not grind heavy and not time consuming, which makes it more approachable for casual RPG players. Lost Vault monetizes through a one-time $19.99 purchase that provides minor advantages such as 5% more XP and cash, and then in-app purchases for a premium currency. This premium currency can be used to launch a guild or even participate in more PvP matches, but since it is also earned through gameplay and, very importantly, cannot be used to buy more water, it doesn't provide a meaningful pay-to-win advantage. The game requires online access, takes up 135 MB of space, and its addictive gameplay loop makes it well worth a try for any fan of this text-based MMORPG genre. What an awesome week this has been for mobile gaming. I really liked all of today's games, but if I had to pick a favorite, I guess Requia Online would be number one, but then very closely followed by Lost Vault. But I mean, they're both great experiences, very unique experiences, and so I hope you'll enjoy them, and let me know what you thought about today's games in the comment section, because then, until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.